Nephew, I apologize that I cannot see you personally before you leave. The trip from Sadrith Mora is treacherous this season, or I would have visited upon hearing the news. The Nords have a fine college at Winterhold, and I am sure you will excel. You may know that I too attended there. I was quite the conjuration adept in my own day. I am sending you my notes on something called the Atronach Forge, a bit of a project of mine while at Winterhold. Mention nothing to the faculty, but ask your fellow pupils about a place called the Midden. You will find the forge there. I fear a number of my notes are missing, scattered, and lost in my travels around Skyrim. Perhaps you may stumble across these in your own adventures. Okay. The Atronach Forge offers a few clues as to who built it, and even fewer as to how to unlock its full potential. Only through blind experimentation and a few signed eyebrows, I have been able to understand its function. The forge is mostly a large dais with almost crude of make, but emblazoned with the traditional Daedric conjuration rune. An offering box is attached, as well as a prominent lever. Yes, I've seen it. At least the box I've seen. The dice also features a large setting which seems set to receive some large spherical object. I have had no luck determining what this missing object may be, however, or what effect it may have on the efficacy of the forge. The forge is activated by placing certain items into the offering box and then pulling the lever. The forge consumes the items and conjures something upon the dice. The conjuration can be predicted reliably if the appropriate items are left in the box, but many combinations either have no effect or catastrophic reactions. Once I conjured a wild goat, well, most of the goat at least. Experimenting wildly with the forge is dangerous. I have recorded such recipes as I have discovered on the following pages. The simplest yet perhaps the most hazardous stable recipe is that for a summoned Atronach. The conjured brutes will attack the first thing they see, however. Be ready for battle if you have reason to use these recipes. Flame Atronach, Fire Salt and Ruby Atronach, Frost Salts and Sapphire, Storm Atronach, Void Salts and Amethyst. Oh, okay. Interesting. We keep this. And what is this Ahzirr Traajijazaeri? Ahzirr Traajijazaeri by Anonymous. This is another title as the book had in my inventory. This is an absurd book, but like all things Khajiit, as the expression goes, Gzalzi Vaberzarita Masi, or absurdity has become necessity. Most of what I have to say has probably never been written before, and if it has, no one has read it. The Imperials feel that everything must be written down for posterity, but every Khajiit kitten born in elsewhere knows his history. He drinks it in with his mother's milk. Fairly recently, however, our struggles to win back our homeland from the rapacious Count Leawin have attracted sympathetic persons, even Imperials who wish to join our cause. But it seems do not understand our ways. Our enemies, of course, do not understand us either, but that is as we wish it. A weapon in our arsenal. Our non-Khajiit friends, however, should know who we are, why we are, and what we are doing. The Khajiit mind is not engineered for self-reflection. We simply do what we do and let the world be damned. To put into words and rationalize our philosophy is foreign, but I cannot guarantee that even after reading this you will understand us. Grasp this simple truth. Zino vano tzina walis. When I contradict myself, I'm telling the truth. We are the Renridgerak, the mercenaries' grin, the laugh of the landless, and the smiling scum would all be fair translations of Renridgerak. Okay, mercenaries' grin, laugh of the landless. It is a derogatory expression, but it is amusing, so we have adopted it. We have anger in our hearts, but not in our faces. We fight for elsewhere, but we do not ally ourselves with the Main, who symbolizes our land. We believe in justice, but do not follow laws. Kazino vanot sina walis. Yeah, this is when I contradict myself, I speak the truth. These are not rules, for there is no word for rules in Ta'agra. Call them our Jizirini, foolish concepts. Vabado shurdo. It is good to be brave. We are struggling against impossible odds, against the very empire of Tamriel. Our cause is the noblest cause of all, defense of home. If we fail, we betray our past and our future. Our dead is Risalidad, which may be interpreted as martyrs in the truest, best sense of that word, which is so often misused. We honor their sacrifice, and beneath our smiles mourn them deeply. Our bravery most obviously shows it in the smile that is the Kryn, part of our name. This does not mean that we walk about grinning like the idiotic baboonish Imga of Valenwood. We simply are entertained by adversary. We find an equal, fair fight tiresome in the extreme. We confidently smile because we know our victory in the end is assured, and we know our smiles drive our enemies insane. Vaba masil hajito. It is necessary to run away. We are struggling against impossible odds, against the very empire of Tamriel. Honor is madness. Yes, we love the Renridgerak who died in the brave battle against the forces of Empire, but I guarantee you that each of the Risalidad had an escape route he or she failed to use and died saying, damn. When the great Senshirath comes to the Saimisil steps, he will find himself unable to hunt, unable to sleep, as the tiny Alfek leap onto his back, biting him and running off before he has a chance to turn his great body to face them. Eventually, though he may stubbornly hope to catch the Alifik, the Senshirath always leaves. They are our cousins, the Alifik, and we have adopted their strategy against the great tiger of Leawin. Do not ally yourself with the Renridge if you yearn to be part of a mighty army marching resolutely forth, for whom retreat is an anathema. We will laugh at your suicidal idiocy as we slip into the reeds of the river and watch the inevitable slaughter. Fusozai Varvar, enjoy life. Life is short. If you have not made love recently, please put down this book and take care of that with all haste. Find a wanton lass or a frisky lad or several in whatever combination your wise loins direct, and do not under any circumstances play hard to get. Our struggle against the colossal forces of oppression can wait. Good. Welcome back. We at Renridgerak live and fight together and know what Leawin and the Empire will not give away very soon. Likely not in our lifetimes. In the time we have, we do not want our closest comrades to be dour, dull, colorless, sober, and virginal. If we did, we would have joined the Emperor's blades. Do not begrudge us our lewd jokes, or bawdy drunken nights, our moon sugar. They are the pleasures that Leawin denies us, and so we take our good humor very seriously. Fusozai Vardar, kill without qualm. Life is short, very short, as many have learned when they have crossed the Renridgerak. We fight dirty. If an enemy is facing us, we might consider our options and even slip away if his sword looks too big. If his back is to us, however, I personally favor knocking him down and then jumping on his neck where the bones snap with a gratifying crunch. Of course, it is up to you and your personal style. Ahzirr Duraris, we give freely to the people. Let us not forget our purpose. We are fighting for our families, the Khajiit driven from the rich, fertile shores of Lake Makapi and the river Malapi, when they and their ancestors lived since time immemorial. It is our battle, but their tragedy. It's our battle, but their tragedy. We must show them, lest they are swayed by other rhetoric, that we are fighting for them. The Main, the Emperor, and the Count can give speeches, pass laws, and living life in the open, explain their positions and philosophies to their people to stave off the inevitable revolution. Extra-legal entities such as the Renridra Kryn must make our actions count for our words. This means no more than fighting the good fight and having a laugh at our befuddled adversaries. It means engaging and seducing the people. Ours is not a military war, it is a political war. If the people rise up against our oppressors, they will retreat and we will win. Give to these people, whenever possible, gold, moonsugar, and our strong arms, and though they hide, their hearts will be with us. Ahzirr Traajijazaeri, we justly take by force. Let us not forget our purpose. We are thieves and thugs and smugglers and saboteurs. If we cannot take a farm, we burn it to the ground. If the Imperials garrisoned in a glorious ancient stronghold beloved by our ancestors will not yield, we tear the structure apart. If the only way to rescue the land from the Leawin misappropriation is to make it uninhabitable by all, so be it. We want our life and our home back as it was 20 years ago, but if that is not realistic, then we will accept a different, simple, pragmatic goal. Revenge with a smile. Khajiit is quite the folk, aren't they?